Good morning. I have not been able to record in a couple days because we took our youth group to camp, but I finished all of Lamentations, so chapters 3, 4, and 5. Finished reading. So, what I'm getting out of this is, first of all, this is a very depressing book. The judgment is everywhere, all over this book. But in chapter 3, he talked about how bad it is, but he did talk about how their hope is in God. Their only hope is in God. And when they're going through this chastisement, this evil period, they need to look to God. I feel like we're starting to go through something like that in our nation. This great nation is falling apart, it seems. You need to look to God. The fourth is just telling you how bad things are for this period in Jerusalem. And an interesting thing is it mentioned Sodom, and it said that Sodom's punishment was less than Jerusalem's, because Sodom's was destroyed in an instant. Jerusalem's pain lingers forever, it feels like to them. No matter what we're getting chastised with, at least we're not doing things like eating our own children, like these people were doing. They were so hungry. The famine lasts so much longer than just destruction, or just all the terrible things it mentioned, And when we are going through that, you got to be looking to God, and that's chapter 5. He finishes off. Let me just read verse 19. Thou, O Lord, remainest forever, thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore dost thou forget us forever, and forsake us so long time? Turn thou us unto thee, O Lord, and we shall be turned. Renew our days of old. But thou hast utterly rejected us. Thou art very wroth against us. So chapter 5, he just ends with, God, I pray that you will take this away and not let it last forever, because he could. He definitely could. Only God has the power to heal nations. Only God has the power to stop the chastisement, the pain, the suffering that we brought upon ourselves. All he did was let the world turn the way it wanted to turn. He empowered Babylon and then let them do what they were going to do naturally. And if we want to be a part of that world, we're going to be in the same boat here. Only God can change it. So finishing this book, I'm encouraged to pray to God for my nation that I live in. Not only that people would not get swept up in the world, they would get saved, but that the suffering would be quick. That he would right things quickly, or just send Jesus back quick. I don't want my nation to have the same suffering that Jerusalem did, given all of their sinfulness. And I do think America has a lot of sin in it. And I'm more encouraged to take a stand against it in my own life, a stand against it around me. I think that's part of our duty, to stand against sin.